Hey there gamers, Cover Fire here again playing the Division 1. And hello to the Filipino gaming community and also to the new and existing players of the SEA region. And since there's an ongoing event, Blackout, I managed to farm for a bit and got my hands on a Tactician classified gear and made a build out of it. So let me show you guys. So here's what I have. It's a 229 build. It's a 2900 firearms and stamina and 9700 for electronics. And for our gear pieces, I'm only using 5 pieces of the gear. I'll show you why later. So here, what do we get for using the Tactician classified gear? So for having 2 pieces equipped, 15% skill haste, so cooldown reduction. So for 3, 10% skill power, and then 4, Tactician authority. So every counted shots gives you 1% increase to your skill power, capping at 30%. Also, your deployed skill can contribute to that stack by 0.2% bonus. So when you reach the 30% and then you use a skill, you will have that increased amount of damage because of that buff for the skill power. And then for having 5 pieces, 5% skill haste, 5% skill power. So why am I not using the 6 pieces of the gear? So let me show you why. So here, so for having all the gear equipped, you'll get an improved Tactician's authority. Technically the same, but if you use a skill upon reaching 30%, it increases the capping of the buff to 60%. So if you use a different skill at 60%, it has a 40% chance to set the buff power back to 30%. So uh, instead of getting from 60 to 0%, at least you tend to keep the buff at 30% increase for the skill power. And the 40% chance to retain it can be increased to a maximum of 60%. Let's say if you have 9,000 electronics like this one. So you get 20, 40, 60 plus that 40, 100% chance for keeping the cap to 30% when using skill at 60%. So sounds very good on paper, but it's not really useful on case-to-case basis. Number one, you have a very low cooldown. Plus, waiting for that stack to get filled up is not really worth it because for me, spamming the skill is much better than waiting for getting that stack because the amount of damage for getting hit with a skill for, let's say, once with an increased 60% chance, so that's like 1.5 or 1.6 multiplication by the damage potential. So instead of casting the skill twice, just using 30% increased skill power, so that is much better for me because uh, keeping on spamming the skills, so it's like you cast a deployed skill turret and then you throw a seeker mine and then after 11 seconds you throw another seeker mine. uh, it doesn't matter how many stacks you have, so it's much better. It's definitely more efficient in terms of the DPS. Plus, if I, let's say, unequip this and this one and then transfer it here and here, so all 6 pieces, right? And then we have 9900 electronics, but we're only at 383k. Why? Because using the Barrett's exotic chess piece, It has three passives. So the talent is Barrett's Bulletproof. No skill on cooldown increases the skill power by 10%. So there we have it, 409k. And then one skill on cooldown increases damage by 5%. And then two skills on cooldown increases armor by 10%. So which is more efficient if you ask me. So let's take a look at the gear stats. So it's all electronics. So armor, mask, knee pads, backpack, gloves, and then holster. Basically, it has all the stats. So for our chest piece, electronics, EDR, health on kill, ammo capacity, mod, electronics mod, skill haste, for cooldown reduction, mask, electronics, skill power, disorient resistance, mod, electronics mod, then again, skill haste, and then knee pads, electronics, skill power, blind deaf, bleed, and shock resistance, mod, electronics, skill haste, and then skill mod, turret damage, then backpack, electronics, skill power, ammo capacity, and then mod, uh, electronics mod, skill haste, and then two pieces of seeker mind damage skill mod. Then for our gloves, electronics, then again skill haste, crit chance, health on kill, and then for our holster, all stats, then skill haste, and then for our mod, turret damage. So for our weapons, an exotic Tommy gun. It's a Thompson SMG, the same gun for that is being used by the mafia. And weapon talent, talented. Killing a target with this weapon increases skill power by 15% for 20 seconds. And then competent, 10% weapon damage increase for 15 seconds after using a skill, and an increase 11% damage when you're not aiming. And then secondary, a high-end police MK17 sniper rifle, talent harmful, 15% chance to apply bleed status to the target. Competent, same talent earlier, increase weapon damage by 10% for 15 seconds upon using a skill. And then toxic, headshots with this weapon have 15% chance to apply blind status effect. Then sidearm, high-end weapon again, military M9. Talent expert, 100% more damage when the target is below 30% health. And then harmful, same talent earlier, 15 chance to apply bleed status effect to the target. Okay, so for our skills, so then again, in terms of skills, it's really flexible because this build has high potential in skill damage and also uh, 50% of total cooldown reduction. So if you notice, for our first skill, I'm using active sensor for our turret. So pulses the target of the turret. So basically pulsing a target, increase crit chance and crit damage. So the damage is 12.7k. And the health of the turret, if you notice, is 475k. So the turret will be like your primary weapon. So it's like another player already having that amount of HP and toughness. And the cooldown is only 15 seconds. So not bad. And then for our second skill, cluster mines. So each cluster mine hits 79k. So if you get hit by a cluster mine, maybe minimum of 3, so that's 79 times 3, that's a lot of damage. And the cooldown is only 11 seconds. Then for our signature skill, I'm using recovery link since we don't have any support skill to heal us. I'm using recovery link for that emergency. scenario, and also for reviving your down squad mates. I also recommend Survivor Link if you want that damage resistance and mobility to escape as well. So then again, it's up to you. You could also change your skill in PvP for potential skill that I've seen. I recommend Sticky Bomb BFV mod. Why? Because of this potential damage here, 1.1 million. Then I also recommend Base Seeker Mine, 367k damage. So would you look at that damage? So if you're in PvP, you could really contribute that DPS. Okay, for our passives, adrenaline. This is given because having that 7 seconds of immunity from status effect when using a medkit, pretty standard for me. And then strike back, reaching low health to reduce active skill cooldown by 20%. Tech support, we have a deployed skill, the turret. So if you and the turret make a kill, you extend the duration by 10%. And then since we're using cluster mines, we have chain reaction, additional 20% damage for damaging multiple targets in an explosion. You could switch this up if you want to get that sticky bomb, 1.1 million damage. You could go for demolition expert, then or shrapnel if you prefer, or if you want that fire type AOE seeker mine, you could go wildfire. So it's really up to you on how you play the tactician gear. Okay, so there you have it, the build for this one, the weapons, the gear, the mods, the passives, and also the skills. So how effective is this build? So let's give it a dry run and show you a bit of gameplay. Okay, let's just wait a bit for that matchmake. By the way, if you can get the skill power up to 460, I'll probably reach around maybe 412 if I fully optimize the gear pieces. It's not yet fully optimized. Currently it's 284 for the gear score. So if you optimize this, you would have a higher electronics rate here, and then probably a higher skill power. So go for it. Matchmaking is taking its time. Let's try another mission instead. Okay, here we go.
Agent, you need to hear this. Faye tells me the cleaners are holding the entire tent city prisoner. That's what it looks like. And if it's if you wanted to eradicate every last vestige of detectable virus, where would you go? Wherever the biggest concentrations are. Refugee camps, shanty towns. Jesus, you don't think draconian solution, but highly effective. Sure, if you're a genocidal maniac. You ever wonder if we even deserve to survive this thing? Every day. Every day. Good luck, agents. Agent, it's Dr. Candle. I want to stress to you the vital importance of safeguarding any civilians you may come across. And that says, you must have survived the dollar flu. That means they've got antibodies to it that I need hope in hell of fighting this thing. And the ones who are just sick, having a broader genetic diversity of virus samples will help us track the virus's rate of mutation, which is a long way to say, keep those people alive until I get what I need from them. Got that? Great.
Echo available for playback nearby. Warning. Contamination that will take place.
Hear that, Agent? Don't be trying on keeping any infected refugees alive. I mean, obviously you're gonna try and keep them all alive, but I need those virus samples, and I really need viable antibodies. So keep them extra alive, I guess. You know what I'm saying. I'm going back to work now. Candle out.
Okay, so we have 10 stack. Let's try the Seeker Mine. So that's 290k and 159k. So not bad. Let's try the turret. So around 11k per hit. Okay, we have 28 stacks for that Tactician Authority. Good thing about the Tactician, you don't lose the stack over time. Unlike the Striker, you lose it per second. Okay, so that's 290k and 150k there, so not bad.
Warning. Chemical signature of explosives detected.
Confirmed. It's Napalm B, all right. With that capacity, they must be planning to burn out the whole damn yard. We need that tank moved somewhere safe.
Okay, 30 stacks. Didn't go through. Okay, we have no stack at all. So a 60 and a 55. I'm not sure if that's accurate. 59 maybe. Okay, so decent amount of damage as you can see.
Okay, Agent. As soon as you lock the situation down, I've got a joint terrorized BTF strike force ready to move in. They'll take samples from as many refugees as they can find. Medical personnel? A couple of EMTs in the mix, Doctor? Yes. A couple?
We only have 8 stacks.
The rest are
Let's
first
throw
aid
that Seeker
certified.
Mine.
They know how to tackle things. Get Go on in. Without contaminating or infecting themselves. Yes. I'll take your word for it. Thank you, Doctor. Get moving, Agent.
So 30 stacks for the turret. So we get 14k, 14.9 to be exact. It's about 15 per hit. So not too shabby. About 20 stacks for the Seeker Mine. So we have 94 there. So we have probably 394. So it's basically instant kill already. So we're almost done for this mission. Okay, we have no stack. We're just spamming. So 54k, 72k, not bad. Okay, we have 30. Okay, we can't really engage this guy out in the front. So 366 there. About 18 stacks. 85k. So good enough. So 19 stack for the turret. So 14k. Stacks for the Seeker Mine. And no enemy. So basically that's it, guys. That's how effective the build for Tactician. So for this build, it's a 5-piece classified gear and 1 gear,
Agent, if you can find the
and
correct
basically
tool, drop that
make
tank someplace
use
safe.
of the build information for your playstyle, and you can modify the skills however you want, and also depending on you, you can play at a distance, or if in mid-range, if you want to just make sure to use the appropriate skills for those approach. So then again, thank you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, good work.